Camilla's the belle of the Berlin Ball. King Charles and his glittering queen consort, wearing late queen's diamond necklace, attend first state banquet of his reign as German president welcomes the pair to Bellevue Palace. The queen consort glittered at a state banquet tonight to honor her in the king's state visit to Germany. Camilla, 75, was the belle of the ball in a striking black evening dress with dazzling silver embroidery by Bruce Oldfield. She also sported the honeycomb boucher and diamond tiara, a favorite of the late Queen Mother that was also worn by Queen Elizabeth. On her gown she sported the Grand Cross, Special Class, of the Federal Order of Merit, given to her today by the German president, as well as the late Queen's fringed diamond necklace. Her Majesty also wore the Garter Star, which was Queen Victoria's Queen's family order. The King was no slouch in the style stakes, either. His Majesty wore white tie, with the Order of Merit of the Federal Republic of Germany first-class sash, which he was also presented with today by the President. He also sported the Diamond Order of the Bath Neck Order in miniature medals. The dinner was held at the stunning Schloss Bellevue, a palatial 18th-century former royal residence in Berlin that now serves as the presidential home. Among the guests were former Chancellor Angela Merkel, dancer Máxima Bules and Can Pino, the Anglo-German lead singer of best-selling punk band The Dead Trousers. They dined on marinated carp and watercress, chicken, and mushroom with a blackberry malt reduction and a prudent black tea dessert, washed down by 3 different wines or non-alcoholic cocktails. Earlier today, King Charles was affectionately offered a paper crown as he passed through the Brandenburg Gate on the first official engagement of his state visit to Germany. The monarch came across a number of well-wishers who were wearing Burger King crowns given away by the fast food giant. One man took his off and tried to press it into the king's hands, saying politely, "This is for you, if you want it." Charles smiled broadly and said, "I'm all right." He, of course, has a number of real ones at home. He also grinned and declined another crown from a woman who said, "I have a present for you." The king was also seen bending down to pick up a man's cap before returning it back to him, with the grateful well-wisher thanking him and bowing. Charles and Camilla, who posed for selfies with fans, were formally greeted at the Brandenburg Gate by Germany's President Frank-Walter Steinmeier and wife Elke Budenbender before the national anthems were played. In a sign of the importance placed on the visit, the couple were given the first full ceremonial and military welcome at the landmark since the Second World War. Even Queen Elizabeth II, who also visited Berlin for her last ever state visit abroad in 2015, wasn't afforded that honor. They had been due to fly in from Paris, but the first part of their visit to France was cancelled at the 11th hour by President Macron amid scenes of huge civil unrest in his country. It will be rearranged at a later date. The king spoke for the first time this afternoon about cancelling the visit, telling a reporter it was very sad. In Berlin, Queen Consort sported a colorful turquoise coat and dress by Bruce Oldfield and a jaunty hat by Philip Tracy. And in a beautifully personal detail, she was sporting a brooch that belonged to Queen Elizabeth, given to the late monarch by Queen Mary on her confirmation in 1942. The king's foresight on climate change was hailed by President Steinmeier at a green energy reception held at Schloss Bellevue. The monarch followed a translation of the president's remarks in a booklet and smiled warmly as Mr. Steinmeier repeated them in English. The president told guests in the building's Grand Langansel, "I am grateful that King Charles III began to champion healthy nutrition, sustainability, and climate action very early on. We are all benefiting today from Your Majesty's convictions." He also thanked the king for making his first state visit to Germany, saying, "This visit, Your Majesty's very first trip abroad as the new king, is a tremendous personal gesture, and for that I would like to express my heartfelt thanks. I am looking forward to the coming days and to the many opportunities we will have to exchange views." The monarch was told that this year work will begin on an undersea power cable between the Isle of Grain and Kent and Wilhelmshaven in Germany, with the president adding, "This first direct energy link highlights how closely Germany and the United Kingdom are working together to make our economies climate neutral. I regard this as an encouraging example, just as Your Majesty's visit to Germany is encouraging." At a reception designed to highlight the work of the UK and Germany in promoting climate and sustainability efforts, the King met Federal Foreign Minister Annalena Baerbock and Federal Minister for Economic Affairs and Climate Action Dr. Robert Habeck and heard how the Berlin Energy Transition Dialogue is advancing the global green transition. The event, which coincides with the state visit, is a leading international forum for politicians, policymakers, industry, science, and civil society. The King met guests including the UK's Foreign Minister James Cleverly, energy ministers, CEOs, experts and academics.